Hey, welcome back. We're going to do some Bottled in Bond today. My voice is kind of leaving me, but my taste buds are still intact. I have 3 Bottled in Bond bourbons here, and we'll talk about what it means right after this. All right, so what is Bottled in Bond? All right, so Bottled in Bond has a few rules over. First, let's step back. To be called bourbon, it has to be 51% or more corn in the mash. The rest of the grains have to be cereal grains, but it can be 100% corn. And it has to be aged in new American oak barrels with a char on the inside. So, and no color can be added. So all of that. Now, regular bourbon can be aged for a matter of seconds. I mean, it just has to hit the barrel and they can bottle it. To be called a straight bourbon, it has to be aged at least 2 years. And if it's less than 4 years, they're supposed to disclose the age somewhere. They used to make them put it on the bottle. I think they've relaxed that now. But typically what you'll see is they'll post it on the website or somewhere prominent. So again, straight bourbon, 2 to 4 years. Bottled in Bond, a little bit stricter. To be Bottled in Bond, the bourbon has to come from a single distiller in a single season, which there are 2 seasons, typically is spring and fall. So you have your January through June, and then July through the end of the year is the fall season. So it has to be a single season. It has to be aged 4 years at least at a minimum. It has to be 50% ABV, so 100 proof. Here's what we have. I have a junior version, what I call it. This is an old tub. This stuff's $20 right here. This is, well, it's around that price. This is Kentucky, of course, straight bourbon whiskey, Bottled in Bond. It's unfiltered from Jim Beam Distillery. The other one I have here is an Old Forester 1897. This is from that Murderer Row series, but this is their Bottled in Bond offering. And then I have Henry McKenna, 10-year, and this is from Heaven Hill. So we have Heaven Hill, Old Forester, Jim Beam. So let me go ahead and pour some of these. I've got 3 different glasses so I can keep them apart. I'm going to pour this old tub in the plain snifter just a little bit. Don't need a whole bunch of this stuff. Since I'm doing 3, we'll speed this up. All right, and just like magic, there we have it. The bourbon has been poured. So old tub, plain, Old Forester, etched logo, Henry McKenna color logo in vinyl. All right, so I'm gonna start down here with the old tub. We're gonna give it a swirl, get a little air in it, and then we're gonna give it a look-see. You can see it's pretty pale compared to the other ones. Now, 4 years, minimum of 4 years. It can go more. Oh, the other part about Bottled in Bond, it has to be aged in a bonded warehouse. So federally bonded. All right. So some pretty good little notes in there. It's typical bourbon stuff. All right, a little punchier on the nose with the old tub. This is a lot softer. Yeah, I'm getting darker notes on the nose out of that one. Let me swirl this. Yep, and similar nose on these 2. But let me check the, now this is pretty flat in the glass. This has that little nice edge on it around, a little bit darker on the Old Forester here. Let's roll these again. Woo, double-handed. Oh yeah, and the Henry McKenna has that nice edge on it too. It's a little bit lighter, Henry McKenna is, but it's light, medium, and the darkest. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna pour these right on top of each other. But I'm gonna start with the old tub because I don't want it to be flavorless once I get down here. Okay, there's a little spicy note kick in there with it, but it's vanilla caramel, and then there's some little fruit note in there, but it's not apple. I mean, this will do in a pinch. This will do in a pinch. Yeah, it's pretty sweet right up the middle of the tongue. But yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't write home about it. There we go. Now we have an explosion of flavor. I'm getting some of that apricot and some darker notes in there. Let me take another little sip of it because the finish on this one is more pronounced. Still sweet, but not as sweet as the old tub. Yeah, I'm getting some of that oak on the sides. I'm getting some of that pipe tobacco, a little note in there. Not as strong as the 1920, but a decent, very, very decent showing on that bourbon. Now, the Henry McKenna. Oh, wow. This is good. Now these are, I think, very, very close in quality, but they're different in notes. This one's a little bit oakier. Let me take another sip. Oh, yeah, there's a darker, more leathery note to the Henry McKenna. A little bit more of the cigar note or something like that coming through. The finish is still there. I think the finish here is a little bit longer than the Old Forester. Very, very good. Very good. Oh, yeah. This one has a little hint of a perfumey note in it, like a floral or a pine. Yeah, this one has a little more of that undertone of that piney, floral note, and it's very subdued in the Henry McKenna if it's there at all. Little black pepper on this one. But all of these two are about the same sweetness. This one is the sweetest. But let me go back to it since I've tasted the good stuff here. Yeah, its flavor is about gone now. Slamming these back to back. The most pronounced thing in the old tub is the caramel, the wood sugars, the vanilla and caramel. After sipping on these have much more depth of notes to them. But again, if this is what I had, I would certainly enjoy my night. But I would enjoy it more with one of these. And I'm not gonna pick a favorite between these. I think it's what mood you're in. So we'll leave it at that. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. As always, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell down there for notifications, and I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.